Hey, what is up, guys? It's Zero here. Um, so I wanted to talk a bit about my issues with the combat in this game, Throne and Liberty. Uh, my previous video, my initial impressions video, I didn't cover that very well, and I was made well aware of that. So I want to cover that in this video, and we'll do a comparison between this and World of Warcraft and my the overall. I guess it's rather small issue with the combat system. I do find it to be rather clunky. One of the big things, like I said, is this. Whenever I jump, I can't move directions. I don't like that at all. Another thing that I like about WoW, well, I guess it really doesn't matter in this. It doesn't translate one to one. Um, well, I guess it kind of does. So whenever in WoW, whenever you click both the mouse buttons in, you can move your entire character. Oh wait, can you do it in this too? Oh, okay. So I didn't know that. That's nice. But it's still an issue with not being able to move while you're jumping. That right here is one of my biggest problems with this. I do like that you can move like that. I did not know that. Okay, that's nice. Um, let's see. So whenever you're going into combat, what I don't like about the combat itself is um, it's really like staticky. So this is fine. Some of my skills are fine. That one I didn't like because it keeps me stationary in the animation. I understand some spells they're gonna be that way. This one I like because I'm able to move around freely. Um, that's what I like about combat. And whenever you're trying to like, in this case, I guess it's kind of mimic action combat because it's not true action combat. It's tab targeting with a action combat system layered on top of it. Because like this is still like technically tab targeting, but it's just using a another system on top of it to kind of mimic or emulate action combat. Um, but that's part of it. It's a fine line to walk whenever you're emulating. Sorry, excuse me, I had a burp. Emulating action combat is because this still feels a little bit too rigid, too static. It feels like a tab targeting game, right? And it is a tab targeting game. But somehow WoW has made their action combat feel really fluid. And I'm not quite sure. Like it's hard to pinpoint it because you really have to play around with it to fully grasp it. It's such a fine detail or fine. You're trying to feel. You're trying to figure out game feel, right? It's not something that most people can just immediately pinpoint. It's it's a little bit of a finer detail than that. Um, but overall, like I like this game a lot, and people had misunderstood me in that video. They assumed that I disliked the video and I just wanted to like, diss it or whatever. That's not the case. I really do like Throne and Liberty. I dislike their auction house for sure. I'm not a fan of that. I can understand people that are, if you're just trying to make a ton of money, if you're that kind of mindset. I've never been the mindset of making money in an MMO. Um, I can here and there, but I don't find it as fun. That's not something that interests me. I just like to play for the combat. That's the main thing in my in MMOs. I love interacting with that system, the combat system. That's the main thing that I like about games. So that's where I'm coming from, and I hope people can understand that now. I did, like I said, I didn't explain it that good in the video, and hopefully this video kind of clears things up a little bit. I do really appreciate all the feedback that I've gotten, um, and I completely understand. Some people got a little animated in the comments. I completely understand because I didn't explain my position that well, and a lot of people get emotionally tied to video games, um, which is completely understandable. There's nothing wrong with that. Like the video games that we play become pretty big parts of our lives, really. Like if you think about it, I have an emotional relationship with World of Warcraft. I've been playing it for 20 years or so, or however long it's been around. And I've been playing it forever. So yeah, like when people have opinions on that game, I feel a certain type of way too. It makes sense, and same goes for this game. I mean, it hasn't been around as long, but some people really love it, and I get it. I get it. This is a good game, and I don't think that point has come across that clear in that previous video. And like I said in the beginning of the video, that the title, the thumbnail, that's all like rage bait. That is just to drive engagement. You're more likely to get engagement that way, right? So that's it. I do like the game. Don't be fooled. Um, like I said, I didn't explain my positions that well, and I do apologize for that. I could have done a lot better. Um, but let's but let's dive into World of Warcraft. And sorry that there is a cut right there in the video because I had just got a call and I used my phone as my webcam. Okay, I don't care. Oh, but there are going to be differences between this and Throne and Liberty. Throne and Liberty's been out a year. This game's been out for like 20 years. So there's a lot more updates and fine-tuning that's been done to this. I understand that. Throne and Liberty is going to be a little bit rigid at first. And it just launched in the West. So, yes, there's going to be more changes and more updates, more tweaking and all that coming. And I'm excited to see what they do. Don't get me wrong, I was kind of negative towards the end of that video, and I do regret that getting that negative. That was, I would say that was rather unfair for me. Um, I think that it really depends. I said that in the end of the video that I wasn't sure if I was going to stick around and keep playing Throne and Liberty. That's not entirely true. In the short term, I am going to keep playing it. It's just that I don't know what the future holds. So it depends on what direction they take the game. If I do see improvements, I've become rather black-pilled when it comes to MMO releases, so I was being a bit of a doomer. And that was unfair for me. I do apologize for that. But like this is what I'm talking about. So I'm able to move around freely. I'm able to look around freely as I'm jumping around, attacking. I have high mobility, um, which is something that isn't quite the case with other WoW classes. It's just Fury Warrior, in my opinion. And well, Demon Hunter too. I like high mobility classes. I like to be able to move fast. I like to be able to do all this. Um, that is this is what I enjoy the most in MMOs. And it's also why I like PvP so much, is because I like to have to think quickly and attack. Do the right skills quickly. That is what I like most. And I haven't, to be honest, I haven't experienced PvP in Throne and Liberty yet. Like I said, that video was just an initial impressions, not a review. I am excited to try the PvP in Throne and Liberty. I want to experience that and like the PvE content as well. I haven't really dived too much into it other than like the dungeons while leveling. Um, but yeah, that is that's pretty much it. Hopefully that clears some things up because like I said, I wasn't very transparent with my positions. Hopefully this clears that up. It is a rather small issue with the game, and maybe it is just me not adjusting to that game from playing WoW. And that's fair. Um, Maybe if I play more Throne and Liberty, I'll get used to the combat a bit more. But initial impressions, I do find it to be a bit more clunky. For WoW, it feels a lot more polished, and again, that could just boil down to personal preference, or my opinion, or it could be the fact that WoW's been out 20 years compared to the 1 year that Throne and Liberty's been out. And they've already improved the combat significantly from whenever it did launch. So who's to say that it won't keep improving? You know? Um, it all just depends on the developers, really, and how the game is handled. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully that clears it up. I'll be making more content on Throne and Liberty, despite me disliking it. I'm kidding. I like the game. All right, peace out, guys.